Hello and welcome to another message. Um, in this rendition, we wanted to welcome you into your new interpretation and your new time frame of reality, where you're able to interface and know self from a much later and much more open perspective. We wanted to offer guidance and kind of provide the parameters of the circumstance under which you will be functioning going forward until your next reality or your next jump happens. And so, as you progress into this new version of a reality and this new way of being, something that we wanted to point out or something that we wanted to express is the idea of you lightening your load. So you will be shedding off frequencies and densities at a very quick and unprecedented pace than ever before, due to the entire frequency of your planet now vibrating and functioning on this new perceived reality. Because of it, your sense of self, your sense of physical belonging, your sense of how you interact with the world will start to shift rapidly. And in fact, it might be very disorienting to find yourself experiencing and noticing a completely new set of circumstances than you have experienced prior to going through this leap of change. The best thing to do to acclimate to it, and then obviously continue to acclimate to the new pattern that is coming on board here in a little bit, is to allow the lightening of the load naturally take place. You can use your intuition and you can use your guidance, and through that innate knowing of what it means to be you in the here and now, you will naturally know. One, you will see the forms around you start to dissolve. So do not panic. Just simply realize that you calibrating into the new reality. And two, start to lighten your load through the intuition that you are already feeling and you are already being fed through your higher self and through the being that came here, to facilitate this experience. Start micro adjusting within you to these shifts and these nuances, and how you could do that through the lightening of the load interpretation is you can start to one, detox yourself from uh, dense information, so negative information that would actually have you spiraling and have you dive in further into ideas of stress or fear or kind of that anxiety of the unknowing. So anything that feeds that narrative, it would actually activate that narrative within you as your reality starts to shift. But it is important to recognize that that narrative that you will be experiencing is your own natural progression and natural way of enlightenment, or natural way of lightening your being. And any narrative that makes that shift or that change something that should be feared or be stressed over or be anxious about is propagating the old narrative and trying to get you to continue to stay in the density, right? And so through this innate awareness, just start to realize that there's no need to feed yourself density. And so, if you are currently or have been participating in things that bring on more density, bring in more stress and more anxiety, almost simply kind of go into selected detox. Detox to information, detox to densified foods, heavy foods, greasy foods, anything that would, that at the end of you eating, you would go, oh, is something that you can just simply refrain from. Any actions or any forms of participations that cause you to kind of feel your heavy heart and then your stomach sink. So simply stray away from even not even the information and not even the food, but also the actions of self that would cause you to negate your actually natural progression, but through that fight and resistance, both on the global scale, and then both in an individual interpretation of that scale, you can just kind of repivot and then find new ways to densify, right? So that is the switch that you will be experiencing. Is that the lightness will just start coming on, and what you can do is you can ease your transition, you can ease your way of being through these active choices, this intuitive guidance system that you already have with you, that go, okay, what is my version of lightness? How do I detoxify? How do I de-densify and sink in with this new frequency? Not to be in it, not to have a goal of anything, but in this case, just simply easing your transition, your transitory phase, quite literally, into this new reality. And so as you become later, the next phase is coming. So just realize that in this space and time, that is something that you can do. One, just become aware of the shift, right? Become aware of how quickly things would be dropping down, and then do not panic. And then intuitively start to densify, whatever that means for you. There's not a wrong way to do it. Intuitively, you'll feel, okay, if this is dragging me down, disengage, and simply dive in and go into a phase of being that actually simulates your natural way of being able to raise frequency and being able to phase shift into this new reality in the more natural and congruent way. So, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next message.